Hey everybody, Kevin here from Invisible Insights, your high performance coach, giving you a little something for your performance edge. And today I want to talk about orchestration. Now when you look out here beside me, what you're seeing here is a beach being rebuilt. It's put back together. You know, erosion happens over time. Things take things away, but sometimes you got to dig down deep like that big boat out there is doing and bring some of that sand back in and rebuild what was once eroded away. And you know what? That requires orchestration. And that's the invisible I want to unpack with you. Because orchestration is a process where you begin to put all the moving parts together. You're orchestrating. You're looking at all the moves that you have to make, and you're thinking about all the elements that have to be aligned into order in which it has to be put in. When you do that, then all of a sudden you begin to start to see magic happen. A beach begins to reappear. Maybe there's something that is eroded in your leadership. Maybe there's something that is missing. Maybe there's a crack somewhere that's gotten too big for you to fill. And it's time for you to sit down and start thinking about all the parts that you need to put together in order to bring it back to life, to put it back where it needs to be. I don't know what that looks like for you, because sometimes it's in relationships. Sometimes it's an aspect of our leadership that we might have lost sight of or gotten off track on. Maybe there's something out there in terms of your vision where you're kind of starts looking at what you're spending time doing and realizing it's not taking you anywhere you want to go. But that orchestration matters. Now, orchestration could be in the form of relationships that you need to be spending time pursuing. Maybe it's a matter of making a few phone calls. That first move to say, hey, I want to sit down with you, pick your brain, share with you a little bit about what's going on to see where they can add value, to bring sand into your world, right? To rebuild that which might have eroded. So that could be one aspect. Another aspect could be just a network of people. It could be simply sitting down with a group and saying, hey, you know what? I want to orchestrate a book study. I'm reading this really good book right now by Jorgensen called The Book of Elon. And in this Book of Elon, he unpacks all these things that Elon Musk did in the process of the growing what we look at now as SpaceX and all this other cool stuff that he's done from Tesla, and not just that, but what he wants to do, what his vision is in terms of what he wants to become. And it's broken down into 4 components. And I want to sit down with you guys and thrash through, I want to orchestrate this group so I can gather wisdom and rebuild that which might have slipped away. I don't know. Maybe perhaps a level of orchestration might be in terms of how you do your schedule. Maybe what you're pursuing in your day-to-day. Maybe I'm going to orchestrate, hey, the first 2 hours of my day and commit completely to growth and development in that particular area. What do you need to orchestrate? What do you need to design? What do you need to pull together and leverage that one talk, that group of people that read that book, and that morning that you set aside that says, hey, look, all of these 3 things together in order create all of a sudden a whole opening for you to be able to really dive into and start looking at what needs to be rebuilt. Where is that area that needs that extra bit of sand to push that beach out a little bit further than it was before? So I just want to challenge you, as you're sitting down, do an assessment, get your journal out, and start asking yourself the 3-2-1. What are 3 questions? What are 2 concerns? And what's one focus of orchestration that needs to occur right now in light of this situation? Because listen, we all have some level of dissatisfaction that needs to be deconstructed. And that dissatisfaction probably lives somewhere in the world of something that's bugging us. So take that bugginess out and explore it a little bit. Understand it. 3-2-1 that bad boy, and begin to start thinking about the pieces that you need to begin to start orchestrating, the order in which you want to do it, and then get after it. Listen, orchestration does not happen fast. And if you look at anything that's going on out here, it's not a fast process, but it's a consistent one. And it's about consistency that ultimately leads to authenticity, by the way. We look for authenticity about all these things, and we talk about how I just want to be transparent about what I'm not. But really, ultimately, consistency paves the way to real authenticity, which is that we're all trying to get better every day. I want to challenge you to lean into that. Lean into that consistency, orchestrate, and then elevate, because that's the invisible. So like I always say, when you see the invisible, you become unstoppable. Time to get your orchestration on. Whoop!